All right, everybody. We are going to go ahead. We'll start with this opening statement from Indiana head coach Teri Moren. We'll go with questions for Lenee Beaumont and then follow-up questions for Teri Moren. So go ahead, coach.
Well, good second half, good third quarter for us. I thought we came out and did a lot of really, really good things. I wish we could have started a little bit better, but give credit to Florida Gulf Coast. We knew that they were a team that plays hard. They're scrappy. They're at home. And so I thought that our kids adjusted at a halftime and like I said, did a lot of great things in that third, fouled way too much, need more help from our bench. But I thought Shay obviously shot the ball real well today, and we need Z to, climb up there. We need her to average her double, and she was a couple rebounds off and points off. But overall, still lots of work to be done. But we're happy that, like I said, we had a great third quarter.
Do we have questions for redshirt sophomore guard Lenee Beaumont? Savannah, go ahead.
Lenee, you had just 2 points there in the first quarter, and then you kind of got it going. What kind of got you to that point to kind of like turn it around? And I know you had 10 points in the second quarter. So what kind of like made that switch?
I thought early on I was trying to force stuff downhill. They were pretty physical with me coming off ball screens, and I wasn't doing a good job setting that up. But I think one thing specifically is I wasn't looking for my 3-point shot early on. And if they're gonna go on the ball screens and make reads like that, I gotta be looking for that to open up my game.
Sean, go ahead.
Yeah, Lenee, you're 5 for 5 from 3-point range. You kind of talked about becoming more confident. Just where's that confidence coming from in these last three games with your 3-point shooting?
It just comes from trusting my work. I'm in the gym every day with Allie, making those shots, making, live game reads, whether that's with defenders or just extra shots after practice. And then the coaches are obviously on me that I got to make those reads. If they're going to play off me, if they're going to double Z, whatever that look may be, I got to be ready to shoot it.
Do we have any other questions for Lenee? Caleb, go ahead.
Lenee, in practically every game, you've averaged like 35, 32 minutes a game. What has been your confidence level in being able, just like Teri, took you out in the fourth, put you back in? What is your confidence level being able to maintain that stamina and finish the game?
Honestly, I just look at it as a blessing, and I'm grateful for any minutes that I get. But I think back to all the time my freshman year, how I would have been, beyond happy for 5-10 minutes a game. And so being able to look at the stat sheet and see that I'm playing heavy minutes is a blessing. I'll never feel tired, honestly. I always want to be out on the court.
All right, we'll go ahead with questions for Coach Moren. If you want to use the raise your hand. Anybody want to ask a question to Coach Moren? You're good.
Okay. Thanks, Bill.
Yes, thanks.
Savannah, go ahead.
You guys had six turnovers there in the first quarter, which kind of led to some limited scoring opportunities. How important was it for you guys to clean that up and take care of the ball going into the final three quarters?
Well, I mean, we talked about it at halftime. We were prepared, back in Bloomington, to see an ice off of a wing ball screen, to see a front in the low block, to see a double, and then they threw out a couple positions of 2-3 zone. So, at that point during halftime, we just talked about all the things that we had seen defensively, and that we had to be ready to adjust to, whatever defense that, they were presenting to us at the moment. And so I think that, we got a little bit sped up, within the ice, and didn't make the right reads, and probably had some careless turnovers. But I thought once we got to halftime and, just talked about just reminders, that, we've been repping all this stuff. I thought the kids might have taken a deep breath and came out in the third quarter with, being much more aggressive.
Sean, go ahead.
Yeah, Teri, you kind of talked about the foul problems. I mean, today your team has 30. I think that's a season high. Just kind of what improvements do you want to see on the defensive end, but also on the offensive end, just not getting those offensive fouls?
I mean, as simply as I can put it, Sean, I don't want to foul. 30, that's a third of their points came from off the foul line. You know, we had two kids, one fouled out in 8 minutes, the other kid fouled out in 14 minutes. Like that just can't happen. You know, we got to be more disciplined. You know, we can't want it to be easy. And that's the message to our players. Like, you know, everybody's competitive, everybody wants to win. You know, we got to be more locked in. We got to be more ready. In those dead ball scenarios out of bounds, we're fouling way too much. You know, when the ball's taken out of bounds by the other team. And those are they're unacceptable fouls that we should know better. I want us to play with aggression, but we can still play with aggression without fouling. And, you know, we have to have, you know, just more common sense, you know, of what is a bad foul. And we have some bad ones. And so we got to get better in that area. Offensively, again, you know, again, we're going to see, this is a great thing about non-con, you know, we're seeing so many different coverages for us. And being a new team, being having new pieces, having young pieces out there. And so, you know, I think just adjusting offensively to, you know, what we're seeing, whether they're ice and ball screens, like I mentioned, if they're going to front Z, if they're going to double Z, if they're going to be in a 2-3 zone, if they're going to be in a 1-2 press, like all of that is just, they're great reps for us that we have to get. And we have to do a much better job of when we know they're icing to come down in that next possession and be able to handle ourselves better. But it stifled us a little bit there in the first and the second, but I thought in the third we were much better.
Max, go ahead.
Hi, yeah, so 11 points scored today by the bench. How would you in the future attempt to get the bench better going in the offensive part?
Well,
Yeah.
I'm not happy. I'm disappointed that we couldn't leave those bench guys in. If I'm being honest, you know, because I really wanted to rest Bo and rest Shay, and they have to come in and they have to be more ready. They have to be more ready. They can't foul like they were fouling. You know, two of those guys that were off our bench fouled out in the 8 minutes, in the 14 minutes. They got to be more locked in. They got to be more ready to guard better. You know, we got to be able to, you know, execute on the offensive side of the ball. And so I would have loved to have left that bench in, you know, and played those guys majority of the second half or fourth quarter, but they didn't give me that opportunity. So I'm disappointed that they didn't take didn't take, an opportunity to be in there and stay in there and get some really great game minutes and meaningful minutes. And so, as I said to them, you know, we need everybody. Our window is very small. We just can't keep relying on those starters to put us on their back the way that they have. We need, and I thought I thought Phoenix came in and she did some really good things. Always does defensively. She had a couple of attacks at the rim that were really nice. So I thought she's game ready. I thought Journey came in at times, you know, she missed a couple coverages, but you know, she gave us outside of maybe a couple possessions. I thought she really gave us good minutes. But Odessa, Maya, Faith, all have Chloe. They all have to be better, and they know it. But we need them. We need everybody.
Sean, go ahead.
Yeah, and Z today, just 9 points, but she picks up 7 rebounds. Just kind of what changes have you seen out of her in these last 2 games, and what improvements can she make to kind of get back to those first 2 performances of 19 points?
Well, her improvements are she has to quit fouling. And she has to be able to guard better without fouling. So that's where she has to grow for us. You know, we're getting ready to play a Gonzaga team that has 2 very big, you know, post players. And so she's going to have to, you know, be better, be that anchor in the low block for us and guard better without fouling. And then again, you know, she's very efficient around the rim. I mean, we probably have missed her, especially running and, you know, playing fast and getting out in early offense. You know, we have a tendency to miss her at times. We got to do a much better job of delivering the ball, you know, to her when we feel like, you know, she does have a deep seal, particularly when we're in transition, but also in the half court as well when we're running some of her stuff. Just opportunities to keep our eyes up, guards, and find her. Because here's the thing about Z: she has great timing. to duck in and seal. And if she can get those deep seals, it's pretty hard, to stop her in those moments.
Caleb, last question.
Coach, 3 straight 20-point games for Lenee. What has impressed you the most, especially coming back from that injury a year ago?
I just think she's allowing the game to come to her. I think she's being aggressive. She got stifled there in the first quarter when they were icing ball screens, but and then I thought her reads were better, and so I think Bo is confident. She understands the importance, how important it is for her to stay aggressive. Because Shay's going to stay aggressive and we need Z to stay aggressive. And certainly Bo, as she's picked up, I think her intensity, her aggressiveness on the offensive end has been really good for us. And I love it. I mean, she said it. She's a kid that has had to watch from the sidelines a year ago. And she's a kid that's grateful, loves the game. And, the minutes that we can give her, although I wanted to rest her a little bit more today, was not able to do that. But, I thought, again, she's playing with a lot of confidence right now, which is a really good thing for our team.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Yep. Thank
Thanks,
you.
guys.